Months ago, I decreed that 2024 was going to be my year of making my way through my backlog, and I've done pretty good. I'm at 21 games completed so far. However, what is left remaining in my backlog, not just on Switch, but across all of my various consoles? And that's kind of what I want to go through today. I've been watching a lot of book talk recently, so I was like, a lot of them do physical TBRs, to be read videos, so let's talk about my backlog. Let's talk about what games are on my backlog still this year. Hi everyone, my name's Alex, aka Quality, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to this perspective. I'm recording this on OBS. This is very strange. I haven't done this in a while. So this is very, very odd. Again, if I look weird looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking directly at my light too, and it hurts. But yeah, so I decided this would be kind of a fun little thing to do, going through the backlog and stuff like that. I am using Emily Orbalology's backlog spreadsheet. I've been using it all this year. It's been really, really helpful in keeping me up to date with what games I've been playing, what games I'm looking to trying next. It's been really awesome. I've talked about it in other videos, but I'll make sure to link it in this one as well. But it's been really helpful. So we're basically just gonna go through my spreadsheet. On the spreadsheet, it has the game title, how long it might take to play, what type of game it is, and the ranking of priority it is on my list. So that's what we're gonna go through today. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. Okay, so I say let's just go right down the list. This is all in alphabetical order and on console order. So we're starting with Switch, which is definitely the biggest part of my backlog by far. It's my biggest collection that I have. So there are the most amount of unplayed games. I will say most of my Switch library has been played and completed depending on the type of game that it is. So this really doesn't make up most of it. So there are 30, it says 33, but because of the title, there are 32 Switch games on here, and my Switch collection, I think we're up over 80 now, I think. So this is less than half. This is less than half of what we got. But first up, we have 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. This is a game that I have been wanting to play for a really, really, really long time, and I'm super excited to get to it. I finally picked it up during a Video Games Plus sale, and it was really cheap, so that was really, really nice. It's a 30.5-hour RPG, which it's nice because that's kind of the lower end of what I've got remaining. So that's probably going to help it along a little bit better to get played. However, it's still up there where I'm like 30 hours is still a commitment, and I'm pretty busy, so is this going to be up there? It is still a high priority. Some of these I might actually change as we go through, just because my thoughts have changed a little bit. But Aegis Rim, definitely up there. Really want to get to it sometime soon. Now, next we have Atelier Ryza 2 Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy. So this is, I think, the longest between the 3 Ryza games, just by a little bit. And I really enjoyed the first one, but it took a long time to get into it, which is why I didn't jump right into the second one. I kind of wanted a little bit of time in between to make sure that, yes, this was a series I was going to vibe with, and I am excited. Today was actually the Nintendo Partner Direct, and they just announced a new Atelier game, so I do feel a little bit more inspired to get through this one and the next one relatively soon, but it's still not a super high priority. It's a 4, but I would probably bump it down to a 3 if I'm being honest right now. I think I need to be in a very specific mood to get into next game. Speaking of which, we have Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End, and the Secret Key. So going through this one really, really quickly, and this is typically how I've used this spreadsheet, is if it's the later part of a series, or I have to play the first one before I play the second one, it's a 1-star priority. Not because it's not an exciting game, but I'm not gonna play the sequel before I play the first one. So that's why you'll see a few 1-star priorities on here. They're not actually 1-star priorities. It's just I don't have any need to get to them right now. And that's how this one is. But I've heard the second and the third one are really, really great. So I'm excited to get to. Next, we have Batten Kaitos 1. I'm gonna do Batten Kaitos 1 and 2 kind of together. I should have put them all in one group, because these are two that I almost do wonder if I would play one right after the other. I don't think so, but I might. I also don't know why I put it as Batten Kaitos 2, because I think the other one on there is technically a prequel? I think I've been wanting to play Batten Kaitos 4 forever, but I haven't had the chance to yet. So I got the collection on the Switch, so I'm really happy to have that. And when I looked that up on howlongtoplay.com, both of them said 50 for each. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's what I put down here. That I might need to update that. But Batten Kaitos is a card turn-based strategy game. Very excited. It seems like a very interesting combat system that I think I'm either gonna love or really hate. So it's a 4-star priority. It's a staple that I know I need to get to. And of course, Bat and Kaitos 2 or the prequel. I always get the subtitles mixed up on these ones, so forgive me on that one. 1 star. Now, Bravely Default 2 was a recent pickup, which you'll all hear. Yeah, this is gonna have some spoilers for my next pickup video, so just be wary about that. Bravely Default 2 is another 50-hour RPG. My mom loved this game. I know I'm gonna like this game, but this is another one where I'm kind of like, I could play Bravely Default 2 without having played the one on the 3DS. However, I feel more inclined to play the 3DS one first. So that's why this one isn't a 1-star, but it's a 2-star. I could go off and just play this one and just have it be done. I know they're not really related, but I still feel a little hesitant about it. So Chrono Cross, another classic that I've been wanting to play for a long time. 42 hours, this was gonna be a summer play, but unfortunately I got so burnt out on games that I went down my reading rabbit hole, which was really nice, but I didn't get to play all the games that I was really feeling like playing this summer, like Chrono Cross or Final Fantasy X. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to Chrono Cross. It is still a high priority for me, it's 4 stars, but it's not at the forefront of my brain. Next is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, another spoiler. Because it's such a short RPG, and I do have kind of fond memories of playing the original one on the PSP a long time ago, I might get to this one sooner rather than later, just to do it, just to get through it, which sounds terrible. I don't like to say it like that, but I mean, because it's a shorter RPG, sometimes it's just easy to run right through them, you know? So I might end up getting into Crisis Core sooner than I think. Right now, it's a 3-star priority. So Dragon Quest Builders 2 is also a 3-star priority, but for almost the opposite reason. It's a long RPG, and it's one of those games that it's got a much bigger pick up and play kind of feel to it. Like, I don't need to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna play this RPG. There's not really a story I'm working towards, I don't think. I think there is like some story to Dragon Quest Builders 2, but not like a deep and revolutionary story. It's definitely pick up and play, build what you want to build kind of stuff. So it's not a super high priority. I want to give it a shot, but this isn't one that I'm in a rush to finish, I don't think, especially with how lengthy it is. So 3 stars. Now, a game I got for Christmas this past year, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. This is another one that, because it's a relatively okay sized RPG, we have 54 and a half hours to go on this one. And it's 5 stars. I would probably bump this down to 4 stars. I do want to play this. I do want to play it, but again, it's not a super duper super high priority right now. I am really excited to get into the Dragon Quest Monsters series, but it's not the super highest priority. Dragon Quest Treasures, I'm gonna bump this down to a 2-star priority rating. I just talked about this in another video where I kind of have regrets picking this up. The one positive, it's a relatively short game coming in at like 27 hours. But I'm also like, am I ready to devote 27 hours of my life to a game I'm not super excited about? I think I said in that video that every time I look at my spreadsheet and I see this one, I'm like, oh, I can play Dragon Quest Treasures. It just never hits me that way. So I never picked that one. I never picked that one. So we'll see when I get to that. Next up, we get into some longer Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy IX at 52 and a half hours. This is a 4-star priority. I have heard nothing but great things about Final Fantasy IX. For those who don't know, I've only ever played up to Final Fantasy VII and Tactics and Crisis Core a little bit, but I have not played anything past 7. I've never played 8, never played 9, never played 10. There's a little bit of my Final Fantasy repertoire missing, and 9 is one that I am probably one of the most excited about, minus the one that comes after. But it's just, it's another one where I'm like, I feel like this is gonna be more of a Christmassy kind of game, like a cozy RPG. I don't know how actually cozy Final Fantasy IX is, I just like the characters. I think there's some pretty deep stuff in there too, but the characters look fun. It looks like a cool crew, so I'm excited to get to this one when I get to it. Final Fantasy X, as I was talking about with Chrono Cross, this was a plan for this summer. But I've also been saying that since I started YouTube almost 2 years ago, and I still haven't played it, which is kind of really embarrassing. It is a high priority game for me. I really, really, really want to play it. The goal is to play it this year. Even though I'll be missing out on some of those fun summer vibes, the goal is to play Final Fantasy X this year. 70 hours, but I'm gonna have to do it. Final Fantasy X-2, obviously a 1-star priority because I'm not playing that until I play Final Fantasy X, but this one comes in at 45.5, so it's a much shorter experience, so I wouldn't be surprised if I at least start X-2 after finishing 10. Now 16 is an exciting one. This one is Hades, coming in at 48.5 hours, which I definitely don't think that's true. I mean, it probably is technically, but knowing how other people I know have played Hades, it's a much longer game than that. And especially for me, who I know I'm not going to be very good at it, it's going to take a while. So Hades is a 4-star priority. However, Hades is also a game that I really want to play on stream. So when it comes to games I want to play on stream, I'm trying to be really selective with games based on what my stream schedule can be right now due to my work schedule. So Hades is one that I think it would be a really, really fun kind of situation to play it every so often on stream, see how it's going, see if I'm getting better, and also be able to play off stream. So that is my plan with Hades. It probably won't happen for like another month. I might do it during Halloween, kind of. Just, you know, it's not super Halloween-y vibes, but still kind of fun vibes. Fun color palette. So maybe around October is when I'll start. Now 17 is one I keep going back and forth on, and I should just do it or not, and that's Klonoa 2 Lunatea's Veil. I really enjoyed the first Klonoa game. I played it a few years ago when the collection came out, was a big fan, but I still haven't played Klonoa 2! I really need to, and again, it's such a short game, but it's one of those things too, like with Dragon Quest Treasures, every time I see it, I'm just like, I'm not in the mood for Klonoa. So hopefully soon, just to do it, because again, the first game was really fun, it was really sweet, and I'm hoping the second one is too. 18 is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, another recent pickup, 44 hours, which is actually shorter than I thought Ni no Kuni was gonna be, based on what the internets say, but I don't know, that could also change really, really quickly too. So 4 stars, this is a game I've been highly anticipating for a really, really long time, had just never picked it up. When I finally found it for relatively cheap, I was like, now is the time, let's do it. But yeah, it's still not at the forefront of my brain. It will be. I think this is another one where maybe Christmas time, like it seems like a cozier RPG, and that's where I want more cozy-ish games. Not exactly a cozy game, but just a cozy RPG, one that I'm happy to sit in a blanket under and play. And I think Ni no Kuni might fit that bill. 19 is a silly one. I don't really know why I put it on here, but it does, I guess, have a story mode, I think. That's Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. It's only 4 hours. This is another one that I am going to play on stream. It's a 3-star priority, so it doesn't really matter when I play it on stream, though. I know many of my community members are like, let's do it. Let's see what it's about. And I am excited. I've only opened my copy of it to take the box out and put it with the rest of my stuff, and also to look through the goodies in it. It's actually a pretty cool physical edition. So I'm very happy to have it, but I will be playing that on stream sometime soon. Now we have Okami, which is another one that I've been wanting to play for a long time. This was originally a stream idea before I shifted my course of what I wanted my streams to look like. And this is one that I really need to be in the mood for, like an action-adventure kind of game, which I haven't really been recently. I've been really just wanting some good, solid RPGs. But I'm hoping this is going to be one that I also get to this year. I'm not sure if I will, but I really, really want to. I have so many memories of watching my partner or friends play Okami that I'm ready to finally experience it myself. So it is a 4-star priority. Now, one of these next 3 games is going to be the game that I play setting out this fall. And that is because I feel like with the school vibes, it makes sense, and that is Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, or Persona 5 Royal. So Persona 3 Portable, 64.5 hours, still pretty lengthy, but not too bad, so it's a 4-star priority. Persona 4 Golden, 68 hours, a little bit more, but this was the one that more people commented on that I should start with, so I'm gonna bump this one up to a 5-star priority. A lot of people were like, Persona 4 Golden gets overlooked a lot of the time, especially in comparison to Persona 5. But there was a lot of really good foundational stuff in Persona 4, and this is just what people have been telling me. These are not my opinions, this is what I've been told. So I think maybe that's what I will do. And then Persona 5 Royal, 123 hours is a long, long time. So I think I am gonna bump that to 4 stars. So I think I am gonna play Persona 4 Golden first. I think. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm excited to get to Persona 5, but I do definitely find value in playing the older games first and then playing Persona 5, because it's the same argument that actually as we come up to Rune Factory that a lot of people have is play the older ones first because it's really hard to go back and play them after you play the most latest. So, I don't know, but I am ready to get into Persona. The time is now! Next we have Pikmin 2. I played the first Pikmin earlier this year, and I loved it, so I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to play Pikmin 2. This one I'm actually going to move up to a 5-star priority, because I have been thinking about it a lot more recently. Pikmin 2 is, I think, the longest of the 3 Pikmins that I have. I don't know how long Pikmin 4 is, but I haven't picked it up. So I don't know, at 20 and a half hours, but even then that's still not too bad, and I feel like Pikmin goes by pretty quickly, but I know Pikmin 2 gets intense, so I'm excited. So I'm pretty pumped for that one. Pikmin 3, I put it a 3-star, and I think that's just because I'm excited. I'm gonna put it back down to a 1-star, because I'm not gonna play Pikmin 3 until I play 2. But that only comes in at 16 hours. It's interesting how that one's a little bit shorter. And once I play Pikmin 3, I can finally buy Pikmin 4. Next is Rune Factory 3 Special. This was one of those situations where people were like, you should play Rune Factory 3 Special before playing Rune Factory 4 Special, and then maybe also not play 5. But I definitely think that's the order I'm gonna do things in, so I will play Rune Factory 3 Special first, especially because it's a bit shorter of a game, 26 and a half hours. So it's a 4-star priority right now. Rune Factory 4 Special, same kind of deal, it's a 2-star. Mainly because I could play it separately without playing Rune Factory 3, but I would like to play 3 before. Rune Factory 4 is a little bit longer at 39 hours, so I don't know. But I do think I'm gonna do Rune Factory 3 Special, Rune Factory 4, then if I like it, maybe I'll play 5. They did just announce the new Rune Factory game that's coming out, and it looks very, very cool, so I'm excited to get more into Rune Factory. I will probably end up playing 3 this year at the very least. Now, this is actually a game I'm currently playing, Shin Megami Tensei 5. 69 hours. I kind of told myself now was the time for a longer RPG because it's been a while since I've played a lengthy RPG. And unfortunately, I'm not having the best time with it. So I started playing it when Vengeance came out because I was like, I should play my base copy. I just need to do it. People are talking about it, so it is relevant, so let's go ahead and play it. And that's why the priority is only a 3-star. I am gonna bump it up to 5 stars just because I'm playing it right now, but I have been really struggling my way through this game. I think the combat is super fun. I love fusing monsters. It's just there's not really that much of a story going on that I care about. And maybe that changes as we go through, but I have heard that that is a big complaint about SMT5. So we'll see. That's another reason why I'm really excited to get into Persona, because I know there's a lot more character development, a lot more story there, and a lot of similar gameplay mechanics without it being exactly the same. So I am excited to get to Persona. Part of me feels I should beat SMT5 first, but we'll see. I'm about like a little less than halfway in so far, and it's been a few months since I started it. So Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. It's interesting to put Story of Seasons games on here because there's not really an end point to most of them, but A Wonderful Life there is. So you basically reach the end of the game at 60 and a half hours. And this is a game I've been slowly playing throughout many, many months since it came out. And I adore it. I absolutely adore it. But it's one of those games that it's just so easy to pick up and play when I feel like it that I'm not really in a rush to beat it so much, but it is still on here. It's a 4-star priority just to keep reminding yourself, let's keep going, because we are at the 3rd stage of life in the game, and I believe there are 2 more after, if I'm remembering correctly from my youth. So, well, we're making progress in that one, but I'm not in a huge rush to finish that one. Now, Story of Seasons: Pioneers of Olive Town. I was surprised that when I looked it up, it said the end game was at 41 and a half hours. Whether that means getting married, completing the main task, I don't know. To me, that's what ending a Story of Seasons Harvest Moon game is completing the main task and getting married. Whatever one happens last. Usually it's you complete the main task and then you get the ability to get married, and that's usually when the game ends for me, personally. But I don't know if that's what that means for Pioneers of Olive Town, so I guess we'll see. It's a 3-star priority right now. I don't need multiple farming sims going on at one time, especially given how many indie ones are coming out that I'm kind of playing bit by bit. 31 is an indie game, speaking of which, that just came out recently, Tavern Talk. It is 15 hours long. I had the absolute pleasure of getting a code for this game, and I have been streaming it over on Twitch. It's been super duper fun, very similar to Coffee Talk if you played that, but now you're a tavern owner. It's really cool. The art style is awesome. The characters are so pretty, and I'm having a really good time with it. So it's a 4-star priority right now, but I think I am going to bump it to 5 just because it's in my currently playing list right now. It is a visual novel, so it's pretty great. I really, really highly recommend it. Now, this is what I was talking about with Batten Kaitos, where I almost wish I would have combined them into one category. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. These are actually multiple games, but because they're all in one cart, I put them together, and because it's Ace Attorney, I have a feeling I'm going to play them all back to back to back. So really that comes in at 76 hours. Yeah, I've been on a big Ace Attorney kick, so I definitely think that I will play these one right after the other, which is why I grouped them together. But yeah, it's not a high priority right now. I definitely want to pick up the Apollo Justice trilogy first, and the Miles Edgeworth games are coming out next. So I'm kind of like, do I play them in chronological order and then go back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles because they were a prequel? I don't know, but I'm excited for Miles Edgeworth, that's all I can say. And our final Switch game on the backlog, Trials of Mana. This has been a game that has been on my backlog since like 2018. Maybe not 2018, like 2019. It's been there for a long time. And I loved Legend of Mana. I was actually gonna save this for stream, but now I don't think I'm going to. This is another one that I think because it's a relatively quick game, I might just pick up and play on my own and just go through it. I've heard great things about this remake, so I'm excited to get to it, but again, it's not a super high priority, coming in only at 3 stars. And now we get into some PC games. These are between Steam and itch.io. I have a big itch bundle, however, I only picked the ones that I think I'm genuinely going to play out of it to put on this backlog list. Because there's a lot of stuff in there that, while cool, not really a priority to play at all. It's more like, I'll find this random thing, we'll play it. So that's why it's kind of small, but it has been updated with game recently. I also didn't put games on there that are farming sims and stuff like that, that are more akin to Stardew Valley, where it's something that I'm going to pick up and play more often. There might be an end to it, but not exactly. First up, we have Button City, which this is a part of that big itch bundle that I got a few years ago. It's only 7 hours, and I was really excited when they announced this game. However, it is only a 1-star priority. Part of it is because it's an older indie game, and I also remember there being some controversy with it. I think it was with the music. I don't want that to deter me from playing this game because it seems really super cool. The art style is really cute. I think it has stuff to do with an arcade. I don't really remember, but I don't know. This is one that I might just play to do it, but we'll see. Next is a big one that I have never played, Celeste, and part of it is because I'm scared that I'm not going to be good at it because I'm so bad at platformers. And that's probably true, but I've loved what I've heard of the story of Celeste. I think it's a really impactful game, so I do want to experience it. About 14 hours though, knowing me, it'll take a lot longer because I will die many times. And it's a slightly higher priority at 3. Now, Later Alligator is a game that many years ago I was asked to play as a charity reward for a charity stream I did. And I'm terrible and I haven't done it yet. I have the game, it's ready to go, it's gonna happen very soon. I owe this playthrough before the end of the year, similar to how I owe the Hades playthrough to the end of the year. That's another reason that Hades was another recommended one from that same charity event. I need to do it this year. So I'm going to. It's only 2.5 hours, so this should be like a maybe 1 slightly longer stream, maybe 2. And I'm excited. I don't really know much about it, but the art is really cute, so I'm very excited. It's only a 3-star priority right now. One Shot is a game that I have heard phenomenal things about. I know it's really, it has a lot to do with like your PC, and you can really only ever play this game once, I'm pretty sure. But I've heard it's really, really cool, very impactful. I've had it for a long time. It's only 7 hours, so this is another one that maybe I'll do on stream, maybe I won't just to avoid spoilers. But unfortunately, it's still not a super high priority because I just have other games. Like Oxenfree, this is another one. It's been sitting in my backlog forever. I'm waiting for the right spooky time to do it. This Halloween might be it. It's 5.5 hours. I've heard it's really eerie, very creepy, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm very excited. 4 stars, this will get played this year. Now, Smushy Come Home was a really cute game that was announced in the Wholesome Direct, I think last year. It is a platformer, but you're playing as a little mushroom, so that makes it a little bit better. I had played Mail Time last year, which was a big indie game, took the world by storm, and I thought it was alright. I wasn't the hugest fan of it, it made me really ill, but Smushy Come Home seems kind of similar in concept, but with an approach and gameplay that I think I might like. It's only 4 hours, so this is definitely going to be a stream title when I get to it, but it's, yeah, it seems really cute, so I'm excited. Now, Snacko is another game. I've talked about it on the channel. I really, really love it. It's still in early access, but I'm super excited to get more through the story because it seems like there's gonna be a big thing there. I know I said I tried to stay away from putting farming games on this list, but because Snacko has a bit of a deeper story and I've already started it, I did put it on here. It is only 2 stars for right now, given that it is still in early access. There's still a lot to be found in it, but I am keeping it on here because I know there is stuff to be discovered. Now, Spiritfarer is a longer game, but it is one that I really want to play or at least start on stream because I've heard of how impactful it is. 25 hours, which isn't long in comparison to a lot of the other games on this list, but long in comparison to the stream games. I'm so excited. I got this game for such a good deal that I could not pass it up. So I'm so excited to inevitably get to this either on stream or on my own. It's probably going to make me sob. Another recent pickup, the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. This was a game I kept hearing about last year, but I was busy playing Stray Gods, so I didn't get to this one. 7.5 hours. I've heard it's super cool. It has a really cool story. The art looks beautiful in this. And other than being a witch who's been exiled, I don't know much more about it. I know you get to make tarot cards, which sounds pretty cool. So I'm very excited to get to this one. This will be probably honestly, like a day like today where it was really rainy, just marathon this game all day. Then we have Wander Song, which I don't know anything about this game, to be honest. I had seen it before. I thought the art looked really cool, but I just hadn't really looked into it, but it was a part of that itch bundle, so I added it on here. Apparently it's only 11 hours, but again, it's not a super high priority. I think I'm gonna drop it down to a 1 priority because I don't really know anything about it. So maybe someday I'll discover that. And then what comes after, I've heard, is another really impactful game. I think you are a girl on a train with spirits and stuff like that. This, honestly, you know, now that I'm looking at it, I might play it tonight. I might play it tonight if I have some time. It's literally only a 1 hour game, and again, this is one that I've heard is exceedingly impactful. That's something I love about. One of the things I love about indie games is how they're able to convey such powerful messages without these exceedingly complex battle systems or story mechanics or stuff like that. It's really incredible. So I'm really excited to get to this. Yeah, maybe I'll play this one tonight, who knows? And then we get into the small 3DS category. Bravely Default, going back to what I was talking about with Bravely Default 2 earlier, I kind of feel like I should maybe do this one first, but I just don't know. I'm really torn. It's a long RPG, but I have been wanting to play a 3DS RPG for a while. I think I'm gonna bump this up to 4 stars because it kind of matches what I said in a video recently, where I jumped down to Fire Emblem Echoes, or Echoes, for some reason. I spelled that wrong. Hey, what the heck? Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia. This has been another one that I've been really wanting to play, but maybe that beats it out. It's a slightly shorter RPG for the 3DS. I've heard really great things about Shadows of Valentia, so maybe that's the one that wins out. I don't know. It's definitely up there. Next, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked. I've heard great things about the Devil Survivor series. I only have this one. I don't really know much going into it, but I've heard great things. So this is definitely one that I really want to get to sometime in the future, but I think I am going to kind of move from SMT5 to Persona first, and then maybe come back to this one. That seems kind of where we're at. It is a 3-star priority, which sounds about right for right now. Something I'm super interested and super excited about, but just not yet. Story of Seasons Trio of Town, kind of the same situation. I started it and I fell in love with it. I think it's adorable. I'm so excited. But there's a lot more to go in this one. There's a lot more to see. This is one that maybe after I'm done with Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life, I jump into this instead of Pioneers of Olive Town. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. We'll see. But once I finish A Wonderful Life, I will jump into one of those 2 stories. This one I'm a little bit more excited about because this one is so highly regarded and I fell in love with it immediately after playing the beginning of it. So it'll probably be this one. Final 3DS game is Tales of the Abyss. My only Tales of game that I have. It's one that I'm excited about, and people have said that this is a fine place to start the series in, which is very reassuring because I was worried that I'd have to start it in a different spot. Actually, today, as of the partner direct, the Tales of Grace's F remake got announced, so that's pretty exciting. But now I'm like, do I wait for that? Should I wait to play that one, or should I still just play Tales of the Abyss first? I don't know. Please give me insight. It's a longer RPG, so I don't think it's necessarily in the same ranking as Bravely Default and Fire Emblem Echoes. I think those are still the 2 that are kind of vying for my attention right now between what is the 3DS RPG I'm gonna play first. Next is Paper Mario Color Splash. This is the only Paper Mario game I haven't played. I played all of the other ones, but Color Splash is still sealed with the rest of my Wii U games, which is crazy. 30.5 hours. This could be an easy one to do, but again, it's just, I see it and I'm like, I'm not ready. This one might be my Mario RPG that I play next year. I've kind of gotten into the habit of playing a Mario RPG every single year. And maybe Color Splash is 2025. Maybe that's where we're at, we'll see. Xenoblade Chronicles X, slightly higher priority, but because it's one of the longer games on this list, it's gonna take me a while to get to it. I would really like to get to it. It's the only Xenoblade game I haven't played now. And I think it's really, really interesting how much of a different take and perspective it has on the whole world. I'm excited to see where it compares and where it's different from the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy. But we'll see. I wish they would re-release this game on Switch because I do think I'd be more motivated to play it were it on Switch versus on the Wii U. Unfortunately, I don't think that's happening. But I will get to it at some point in time. If not this year, then next year for sure. I say, hopefully. Now, only 2 DS games, Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies. I picked this one up semi-recently, and it's not a super high priority right now. I think I want to get through some of the other Dragon Quest games that I have on my Switch, as well as the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake is coming out very, very soon, so I feel like that's going to take precedence over Dragon Quest IX, but I'd like to play it at some point in time. I do think Dragon Quest IX is a little tricky now that I don't have people really to play it with, because I think that was a big part of the game. But we'll see, we'll see. So it's only a 2 right now, but only 48 hours, so it's not impossible. Now, Yoshi's Island DS is one that it's another one that I'm like, I should just play. I should just play to do it because it's only 13 hours. But again, it's just one that I'm like, I need to play it. I've never played Yoshi's Island before, so now is the time. But still, like, only the 2-star priority? I don't know. I don't know. I'll get to it at some point in time. That's what a lot of this video is me saying, I'll get to it at some point in time. I have genuine excuses for why I haven't played some of these, for some of them, but not all. Mainly, this video is just my pile of shame, I think is more what it is. And our last 2 games, 2 Wii games, we have Kirby's Epic Yarn. I'd love to play that game. I've played like bits and pieces of it with friends over the years, but I really want to play it all the way to completion. But I'd also like to play it with somebody. So we'll see. Once I find somebody to play it with, then we'll go through it, play Epic Yarn. It's only 10 hours, and it's a medium range priority because I love Kirby. Kirby is so easy to pick up and play that it'll happen at some point in time. And then finally, the last story. Now this was another game that I was really surprised at how like short it actually was, only coming in at 26 hours. This is another game I'd really, really like to play. My main issue with this one is just because it's on the Wii, it's hard to set the Wii up and be like, all right, here we go with the Wiimote the entire time. But it is one I really want to play. I've heard great things about it. It was one of those games that I missed out when it came out for the first time, so I'm excited to get to it eventually. But that is all 54 games on my backlog list so far. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But we're slowly making our way through it. I've made decent progress coming in at 22 games this year so far, and I'm hoping to get a few more within the last few months of the year. But I hope that was an interesting video for you all. It was kind of fun for me. I did also feel a little shamed throughout the entire time, but I also, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, by me making this video, one, it inspires me to keep beating the games, even some that I'm like still not super excited about, but inspires me to do it, get them off the backlog so I can enter more games onto the backlog list, and also maybe hopefully it inspires you at home to complete more of your backlog. I'd love to know how your backlog progress is going this year. How many games have you beat? What is on your backlog that you just can't get yourself to play yet? I'd love to know, but I think that's gonna do it for me. Again, I'm sorry about the shifting camera perspectives. I don't know where to look when I'm on my computer because it's different for stream. It's not nearly as weird for stream as it is for like videos for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, if you like this video, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed but love to talk about backlogs, nostalgia, video games, maybe consider subscribing. But otherwise, that's gonna do it for me. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.